Hello everyone, welcome back. So last time we talked about a meditation technique that helps us to avoid frustration. If we practice that technique, the thinking system, that we can train our mind to avoid the circumstances that create frustration. So what happens is it's about how we deal with that environment when we do have circumstances that ignite frustration and anger. But now, the second point that I really would like to stress out is what what are we going to do when we are frustrated? That's the second phase of frustration. One is like one thing that we can try in the beginning is to avoid frustration. There are several meditation techniques that we can practice. I talked about one practice last time. Now I'm going to talk about what can we do to channel our frustration when we are frustrated. So I like to talk about simple techniques that I have been using, which I learned from Buddhist teachings, of course, which I'm grateful of. And my major point that I use to avoid frustration and to let go of frustration is that frustration doesn't help me at all, and it just hurts me, and it just make the situation worse. So I build up a strong, and I have been practicing and trying to build up more strong concentration and mindfulness when I react to things and when I deal with people and anything that can create frustration. So we need to be prepared before we get into that kind of situation. So that's why I'm practicing those techniques to avoid it. But it doesn't mean that I will not get frustrated at all. Sometimes I get off the track and get frustrated. And then that in that situation we have something that we can do rather before we acting upon our frustration. When we are frustrated, if we know that we are frustrated, if I know I am frustrated, first thing that I want to tell my mind is, okay, I have to stop without responding to this frustration or reacting to anything with this frustration. I have to channel this frustration to something important. I cannot just let this go with anger and hatred. So then I use a few other techniques that I have learned and been practicing for a long time, which really work for me, and I think it should work for everybody's. So one of the method that I use is I can either, when you're frustrated, you can either chant something good and sing. If you want to sing a song, you can sing a song, and if you want it, but I like to do is chanting of loving kindness meditation. May all beings be happy. May she be happy. May they be happy. That's what I like to do when I get frustrated. I close my eyes. I just may they be happy. I just chant it in my mind. May they be well, and may I be well. May I be free from this frustration. Just chanting and focus on that, and then the other thing that you can do is meditate. You can just take off, walk away and meditate. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, breathe in and out. Do without, avoid acting upon frustration. If you practice mindfulness daily life, daily in your life, you are able to avoid acting upon the frustration. So that's a good thing. We need to do it. We need to have it. So meditate. Go and sit down, meditate, or wherever you are, even in your car. Take a deep breath. Do not focus on those external things which ignite frustration, which create more frustration. Just focus on your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Take a deep breath in and out. And so that is one of the things that you can practice. And the other thing is, another thing that you can practice is talk to a really good friend. A good friend who helps you to calm down, not to get more angry, not to get more frustrated. If another friend is, oh yeah, that's wrong what they did to you, blah blah blah. No, that's not right. You can't say anything that create more anger and more frustration. And first of all, I don't like to have the ownership of or right a right to be angry or to be frustrated, because um, I don't like to see it that way, because I know some people, they're like, I have the right to be angry. I have the right to be frustrated. I don't like to give that credit to that frustration. Reason is that frustration is not good at all. Like, if I give you a reason, okay, yeah, you have perfect right to touch this burnt charcoal. Are you going to do that? No, you're not going to do that because it's going to burn you. Yeah, I have a right. Just because you have the right, it doesn't mean it's not going to hurt you. You know. So I just personally don't like to give any credit to my frustration, my anger, and I always give zero credits to my frustration and my anger, and I don't like to give any right. And personally, I accept that, and I get frustrated, and I tend to let go of that frustration, and I can't do anything else until I get that off of my mind. So that's something that I've been practicing. So I talked to a good friend. In Buddhist teaching, the no English term is called noble friend, and that's a really good thing. And it's so hard to find noble friends, and I know, but they are around you. You need to know who is a good friend that support you to build yourself. And another thing that we can do is change the object of your mind that mind is being thinking of. Your mind is being active upon. And think something else completely. Change the topic. Change the topic in your head. And think something very important to you. So whatever that is important to you, without thinking the object that ignites frustration. Just completely take your mind off of that object and focus on something important to you, something that calms you down. Not anything else, not any unwholesome state of mind, without grabbing any other emotions. We need to be wise to focus on something else rather than that object which ignites frustration. So you can think about, a good generous action that you have done, or a good generous action that somebody else have done for you, and something good, something important to you. Think, change the object of your mind and think about something else. And another thing, if you're really frustrated, sometimes I walk away. Something that some people do, I think, and just walk away, react without reacting to anything or anybody saying anything, without saying anything with the frustration. Just walk away and take just excuse for a few minutes. Go outside, take a deep breath, calm yourself down, and always think that frustration is not good for me and good for others. It doesn't help me or anybody else. So that's another way to think, to let go of frustration. Also, something that I really like to emphasize that I do in my daily life, when I'm frustrated, so that I see these emotions goes behind this frustrated situation, and those emotions can go either way, like sadness and or the loneliness, or some sort of state of romance or you sometimes it's our mind just go through all kind of these emotions. And I like to do something that I like to do is write. I write. You can write it on Facebook, and I realize I should. And one time, when I write on Facebook, I realize I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that on Facebook. I want to write it somewhere else as a book, and then I can change. I can share that with others. or you can post it on Facebook after while when you go through it, because some people judge you in the wrong way rather, and then they begin tend to comment on that, which can cause more damage. So I don't post it right away on Facebook or anything like that, but writing for you and making a journal about that emotion and the story, make a story. Or something else that I do is I make a poem out of it, write a poem, something I focus on one of the emotion, and then I think of how can I change this emotion, this negative emotion, towards positive and bring some energy from my point of view. I just write a poem. It's another way to change the direction of your mind and be creative and channel your frustration to something important. I have been publishing books. I have more books coming up because of that, and because I tend to write when I see some positive or negative emotion. Even positive emotions, I tend to write something good because I'm excited and happy, and I write something out of it, and that helps me a lot as well. So those are the techniques and that someone can use, and most importantly, meditation is really, really good to have in daily life. No matter what religion you are in, no matter what nationality, what language you speak, meditation is a universal technique that heals your mind. It's not just it's a very important thing. So hope you like this, hope you practice these techniques, specifically this time with this pandemic that we are facing. And we will talk about more about this pandemic and facing to this pandemic and letting go of fear. And the next one I'm going to talk about is how to practice loving kindness meditation, because that's very important to know, and most people have been asking me about that. So we will be talking about that next time. Until then, take care of yourself, be safe out there. I'm Viraj. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it if you feel these contents are very important to everybody. Thank you very much. See you next time.